All right, what is up, y'all? Today we are building a Sol 30-minute strategy from scratch based on the Bumper Bands 30, which is an indicator I recently just released. And I wanted to give some insight onto how I build strategies. I'm going to be building this 30-minute strategy on Sol for Bybit, the perpetual contract. Hopefully it works across multiple exchanges, but there's always going to be some tweaks that are needed if you build it on one exchange and switch the strategy over to another one, just kind of how it goes. All right, so I'm going to start off. I just have a starter template that, it's just very basic. I showed this in another video. So this will probably give me some decent results right away. It kind of across the board will give you pretty decent results. And I think I remember if I put this setting on, it got a little bit better. So the idea when you're starting a strategy is you want to have as many trades as possible while having some sort of net profit, because that will allow you to slowly whittle away all of the losing trades, work on the stop loss, and all of that stuff. So let's see, what was I doing? All right. I'm going to also add a couple other indicators real fast that I like to cross-reference and use. All right, so PMARP is one, and then sometimes I work with two BBWPs, one for the threshold and the other for slope. So this is going to be my threshold one. I'm going to take the moving average off so I know which is which. All right, so getting started here. Not looking super great. I am also going to take, it's looking all right, but could definitely do better. I'm going to take off, Sunday's already taken off. That's good. I think that was a little bit better. And then I know that might be a little bit better. So as I kind of build this, I'm going to be looking at the net profit and generally at the equity curve. Because if the equity curve is flat for a long period of time, that's not ideal. So even here, it hit all-time highs quite a bit ago, and then since it's traded down. And while that is also the case for the asset, I definitely want to beat the asset's curve, if that makes sense. All right, here we go. Let's just jump on in. The general thing I found is BBWP being greater than 20 or 24 or 25 helps. I'm going to start with that, and then I'll kind of go from there. So another thing I like to do, especially when I'm building strategies, is make some copies so I can always keep referencing. I kind of keep whichever version is the best on the left hand side, and then I make adjustments on, let's make one more copy just so I can really fast go through and make changes. This might seem a little chaotic to some people, but it just gets things done a little bit faster. Okay, so we're at 214. This is kind of the equity curve we're looking at. So now we're going to try to beat 214 and that equity curve over here. Going to try a couple different things. I'm going to do 24. Then on this one, I'm going to do 24. So these are a couple tricks I've found in the past that generally work on strategies. Historical bar index, I try to use as least often as possible, but if it really works, it really works. And so, sometimes that's the case. All right, let's kind of look at the results here. So, changing it to 24, not as helpful. This is a decent bit better already, right there. So all of a sudden that becomes my main one to work from. And I'm going to copy the setting here, except for this time I'm going to do 25. That setting and see if it beats it at all. This one I'm going to try a couple different things before I completely walk away from this idea here, which is 24 with no historical bars and no look back. I'm going to try a couple different settings here just to see. So this is kind of my, I don't know what you want to call it, this random tries. I'm just going to throw a bunch of random numbers at it. This one I'm going to slowly try to get better than the 230 over there. And the equity curve. Definitely not better. What did I change here? 25, okay. I'm going to go down to 23. 192, that did not help at all. Going to do 13 and high. Just going to try a few things. All right, this one is better now. 23 is better. I'm going to go down one more. So I'm going to beat 237. Oh, I forgot actually. I needed to 23. So that was 237 there. Okay. 244, 22. So now that's the best again, and we'll keep going down. We might, you know what? I'll just try to go all the way down to 20. All right, so we're beating 244 and that equity curve, which is pretty decent. I don't love these huge losses right here. I'm gonna have to figure out how to get rid of those. And also, before it gets too far, yeah, I'm running out of options over here. Okay, so it looks like 22 is, for BBWP, is the best. The other thing I'm going to work on is stop loss. I'm just going to take that off for a second and see what the results are. So now these two charts are identical settings, except for this one has no stop loss on it. 264, yeah, I figured that stop loss was actually catching some trades in bad places. Stop losses are the most challenging thing, and they're very important, but a lot of times they'll stop trades out and give you a way worse equity curve overall. And even though, you know, Solana's gone through some crazy down periods, you know, it's done all right. So I always recommend having a stop loss of some kind, but I usually will add that later on in the trade. Okay, so we know that it's better without the stop loss. I'm going to try actually a couple different numbers over here just to see if I can get some kind of decent results with a stop loss. Yeah, this is not working so well. Let's kind of go back here to just try a few different things. All right, 264, 230. Let's look at yeah, that's just really choppy. All right, I'll come back to stop loss. I'm going to look at max take profit here. I'm just going to go down to 2.3 and see what that does. What I also should do is hit deep backtest. So I don't like to go too long into a strategy before I hit deep backtest, because sometimes you can be making this chart look real pretty right here, and then you hit deep backtest and it just looks like garbage. And then you have to start all over. All right, so 295. Let's hit deep backtest on 2.3. Make sure these are the same date range. Full history. Yeah, like you can see right here, there's a couple periods where Solana just dumped right there and right there. And while the strategy took some hits, it's not nearly what Solana took. So didn't gain as much at the beginning, but also didn't lose nearly as much. And the past few years looks pretty great. All right, 295, 291. So this one is worse. So let's see what this setting was here. I think it was 2.3. Yeah. So I'll go up to 3.4 real fast. I also found if you are making an adjustment and you type it in, and then before you click on anything else, hit generate, it doesn't make this window disappear, which is the most annoying thing ever. Okay, 299, so that's looking pretty good. Let's take this one up to 2.36. Let's just go up one more. All right, and then while we're doing that, 224, I forgot what this was before. Let me hit undo. So 224 is what it was at 19. 213. So 19 is better. Let's go to 21. We're trying to beat 224 over there. Okay, 284, 299. So 2.34 looks like the magic sauce right there. We'll get those both synced up. All right, 2.18. So 19 was better. Oops, 19 was better. Let's try 17 real fast. Both sides of 19. Okay, so now these charts are identical. Now let's kind of work a little bit more on... I haven't messed with the BBWP settings, so let's do that real fast. So 266 is the non-backtest net. And I'm just going to go down to 11, see how that goes. 210, yeah, 219 seems like, or 19. Seems like the thing. All right, so I forgot what that 224. Okay. Let's just change some of these settings here real fast. 266, yeah, so this is definitely not better. Let's try 15. Nope, not better. 20, I don't think so. The other things I kind of keep an eye on are max drawdown, because it's not a big difference, and if the max drawdown is way better, I will, 23, yeah, it's not that much better. Let's try low. 256, no, that's not better. Let's try 13, and I'll just go through all those options the same. All right, so it looks like close is generally best. 224. Also, total number of trades is 985. I kind of want to keep an eye out what's going on here. 975. So it's real close to the same number of trades. It's just, yeah. I wonder, try to go up to 25. 242. No, this is definitely not better. Let's go to low, and then might move on to something else. 218. What was 224? I think it was 224, yeah. All right, kind of striking out here with making this better. Oh, I did forget to take I'm gonna do this so we're more apples to apples. I'm not giving up on this chart yet. I might do a version of the chart without historical bar range. 247. So that's actually not too far behind this one, which is let's go back to close, which is like 266. Yeah. So kind of let's real fast look at the equity curve, and it definitely has a worse drawdown. 980, yeah. It's definitely it's not too much worse, but let me try this. Let me just give it one bar valid. Okay, still haven't found anything that beats this. Let's try a couple numbers here real fast. Wait, 246? Pretty sure that's what it was. Oh, 247. Weird. All right, so that's not helping at all. Just go down to 22. We're trying to beat 247. All right. All right, there we go. 250. Getting closer. Max drawdown's not too much better, though. Man, this is, let me just try a couple more extreme changes just to see. All right, we know that 22 works on these other strategies, so I'm going to leave 22. BBWP is negative. Let me try some different risk right here. Let's look at taking the risk, changing the risk. 256. Let's look at this. So we got 18 and 266. And we got 19 and 256. So it does not look the same. Only other thing I'm going to kind of watch is this equity curve here and just see what the equity curve is. So see, on this one, the equity curve is actually a bit worse, right? The highs here, it's just at the highs. Right now, it's currently trading at the highs. This one, I believe, has passed them. So if you're thinking about a trading strategy that slowly makes gains over time, this is actually more ideal because you don't want to be in the red. It's just a mental game. You don't want to be in the red for a long time. So say you had started trading this trading strategy right at this point, right? Yeah, you would, on this trading strategy, you would just barely be breaking even. I think there might be something to this. Let me try a few different things here. Oh, here we go. Okay, so we know 15 and 27 actually give better results. Let me try 15 and 25, so 269. Actually, before I do that, this might be completely wild to you guys, but I am going to have two charts going. So I'm kind of shooting out two different ideas, and then, you know, whichever one kind of ends up being the best idea, I'll use that as my main thing. All right, 269. Let's go ahead and do a deep back test there, and we'll try to beat 269. Okay, whatever I just did not help, so I'm going to undo. Oh yeah, I went from 11, so let me just try to go to 12. Oof, that's what I'm talking about, deep back testing. That does not look good. I wonder what did that, what's causing that, if that is, I'll come back to that in a minute. So yeah, this is not gonna fly. Let me try going back to 13 and see if it changes anything. 280. All right, so there we go. This is looking good now. Yeah, that's a much better equity curve right there. This is actually very, very nice. Okay, so try a couple different numbers here. Kind of zoning in on. Actually, before we do that, 500. I want to save this, make it my main thing, and I'm going to make this one match it. So it was on 12. I think it was 300 or something. No, it was 500. So let's go to 400 with this. All right, so we're at close 12,500, close 12,400. 274, 264. Oh, did I deep back test? So that's better. Yeah, this is not really working. I'm gonna go back to 24 and just to try it, but it looks like this idea is gonna probably just have to close these windows and keep building from this other one. Okay, so 280, 12 and 500. So definitely better at 12 and 500. Let's try 600. All right. Yeah, that's not looking great right there. Let me just go ahead and deep back test this to make sure. 273. So it looks like 12 and 500 is the best for now. Let's just stick with that. And for fun, I'll try high and low one more time on these settings. So yeah, definitely this strategy is already looking way better. It's 310 overall. This one's 273. All right, so I'm just gonna close without saying. I'm just gonna get rid of these. This idea is not working out. All right, 274. Nope, not better. Okay, the other thing I'm going to look at real fast is I found out on the other chart that changing this to 15 made it a bit better, but let's look and see if it does. And that's another way of knowing if something you're doing is over-optimizing. If on multiple different versions of charts, the same number has drastically different results, that probably means it's not a general truth for the strategy at large. So let's see, we're going to go to 15. We're going to remember 280. All right, so yeah, this is the best. So to compare these, we're at 280 again, so these are the same. So we're going to just deep back test both of these. The only difference is this chart has 27 and 15 right there. I'm going to deep back test both of those to shoot out which one is actually best overall. right, so what's the difference here? I forgot which one is which. Okay, so yeah, that's something to keep in mind when Solana was really volatile way back here. That it actually made it worse. You can see the results of here are better than the results here. So I'm going to go back to 27 and actually I might try 27 and 11 real fast just to shoot those out. I'm going to make one more copy of this. I think I was it 5 or something? Just to keep things moving. Let's go to 25 and 13 and just see what that does to the deep back test. All right, 307. We're looking at 36 drawdown, which is still pretty high. 36, 310. Okay, so not a whole lot of difference. Looks like 13 is the number. And did we try 25? Man, see this. Sometimes I forget what I've tried. Let's go to 29 real fast. And so 310 is kind of what we're trying to beat. Oh, I tried 25 right there. So, yeah, I did. All right, so 29. Yeah, it looks like just where it was at was perfect. 27. The only other thing sometimes I'll try is kind of reversing these and just seeing if it's completely whack or not. And if I'll be able to tell if there's something to this, and then I'll mess around with those numbers. All right, so 25, 27, and 13 seems like it was the spot to be. I sometimes will take out Thursdays. I try not to early on in the strategy because it seems like Thursdays are changing. They used to be not very profitable days, but now it looks like just recently Tuesdays have been really less profitable. But just for fun, while we're waiting on the other stuff, I will take it out and see how it does without Thursdays. 310, 272, so that's way worse. Yeah, changing that is not the... I don't think we're going to be able to beat this guy right here. All right. Now, sometimes, it depends on the strategy, I might go through and try a ton of different numbers here, but I do know I've actually already tried a lot. When I was building the 30-minute bumper bands, I tried a lot of different combos of emergency risk with them across a lot of different assets, and these numbers tended to work pretty well across the board. So, you know, that's a good sign if they tend to hold up. All right. I'm going to go back to there. I think this, if I'm right, these should be the exact same when they are done. All right, Thursdays actually did not make it better. It might have made the drawdown better. Yeah, definitely made the drawdown better. I don't know. I'll come back if I get to the end of the chart or closer to the end of the chart and want to take out Thursdays. I'll do that, but taking out a day just to get rid of drawdown is not the most ideal scenario because who's to say on a Tuesday it doesn't, Bitcoin or Solana in this case, doesn't just crash. So you can't, just getting rid of risk by taking out a day is definitely not ideal because there is, whether in the chart there's risk, in reality there is definitely risk. All right, so yes, these are both set. All right, let's look at a couple other things here. Now that we dialed that in, I'm going to try to come back to this. So there's like a 2 steps forward, step back, double check that this number is right, and then keep going. So we're looking at 310 at 22, so let's go to 23 and deep back test that. All right, so we're at 280, which I think is the same. Yes, 280.53, 280.53. So now all the charts are the same, except for we're trying BBWP. I'll just go ahead and hit 24 just to do that. All right, so 36 is the drawdown. Definitely a little bit less net profit. Yeah, that's not helping too much. So Let's go back to 22. And let's look at BBWP for the slope. So this is, now I've gotten kind of the threshold BBWP dialed in. Now I'm going to dial in the slope BBWP. Try a couple different things. So 310 is still what we're trying to beat. Yeah. 2. All right. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I was trying to dial in BBWP. So I'll just try 12 here. Okay, so this is not getting that much better. It's not getting any better, actually. I'm just going to try a few different combos of things, though. Oh, so this is a lot better. So high. Yeah, look at that. That's actually very, very nice. Very nice across the board. It is important to note that there was a lot of gains made in this area of time. Again, I generally want a chart that is as steady as possible, so that means if you miss this area of time, it's unlikely that Solana makes this kind of gain in that shorter period of time again. So that's just, it looks nice as a net profit, but also at the same time, it's not necessarily realistic to expect that to happen again, at least not in the near term, unless we get some kind of parabolic run. But yeah, that's just, again, setting expectation. All right, so that's definitely not better. I'm going to look at 12 because I do know that, what was this? This was, I think it was 12 high, 352. Okay, so that now becomes my, chart to beat. 12 high, 12, 352. So let's try something over here. Let's try high, 12, 252. All right, that did not work out. I'm just trying, this is, again, spitballing over here, so. I'm trying a bunch of things. Here we go. All right, so 252. Let's look at the drawdown, 35, 33. So, no, 352 is definitely better. Let's just go ahead and look at 300. Yikes, yeah, I'm again striking out here. All right, so let's try 400 maybe. So for the look back, I try not to make minute changes like by a few. I try to make it by 50, 50, 100, sometimes 20 or 25. But yeah, the look back is a really fine-tuned instrument, and so to dial it into a single digit does not seem like it doesn't work well in forward testing. All right, 308. So that's not better for sure. Where we're at, 325. Yeah, so it looks like 352 is it. Okay, so let's make sure these charts are the same now. Yeah, again, striking out. So I'm just going to put this at, actually, I'm going to try one other thing, just for fun. I'm going to change the slope to negative, and try a couple of adjustments here. I'm not going to use deep back testing. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. So 288 is the one we're trying to beat over here, or at least get close to. 325. Okay, yeah, so these charts are now the same. All right, now that I got that, I'm going to start by adding the PMARP slope. So these are just my tools that I have found, or my favorite tools that I have found help this kind of strategy. There's so many indicators out there that you can try using in conjunction with the bumper bands, but this is just what I found useful. So, all right, let's try some things here. Yikes, that's way worse. Where were we at? We're in high. Let's just get kind of crazy with it, see where it goes. Again, we're trying to beat 288. Or actually, I guess we're looking at deep back to 325. Oh, never mind. I'm not going to... Oh, wait, that's already looking better. A little bit. It's only a couple percent. Drawdown is 19, 288. Drawdown is 19, 290. So it's barely better, but it's a little bit better. So let's try... I'm just going to try some extreme numbers here just to see where it goes. So actually, again, I want to keep this as my main chart and flip to this one. So I had BBW, or I had PMARP plot line, negative, entry, and I'm just going to try some, oh gosh, not that. That's crazy. All right. This is not really looking that great. 286. Nope, not better. Yeah, so again, I'm kind of striking out here. So let's just go to what we were at. I think we're at 12 and 352. So now this, I'm just going to give up on that idea and go with this. Okay, 286, still not better. Let's look at some different options. 273. Wait a minute. 290. So what's the difference here? High 12, 352. Oh shoot! I think I didn't set this the same. 27 and 13. Let me make sure. This is the one thing if you're working on multiple charts at a time. You got to make sure that you are comparing apples to apples. 27 and 13. 13. Weird. 2.34. 2.34. Or, you know, I don't want to mess with that. I don't know what's different. I'll come back to it. Okay. So now we're back to our just two fundamental charts here. Definitely not better. Whatever. I just changed. Let's just go to 21. I'm just going to go ahead and make another copy. Because I want to try more options with PMARP. I want to, again, this is something that I found at times is helpful. Wait, 262, 262, 290. Oh, that's because I made the, yeah. Okay, that's right. What I was saying was, okay, I'm going to try something kind of crazy. But again, it's something I've found in the past, a combo that generally helps. And it does forward test well. I have worked on strategies like this, and they've proven themselves pretty fast in forward testing. All right, so let's try one other thing here. Instead of negative flat, we're just going to go negative. Trying to beat 286. Oh, it looks like high is not the... Let me try low. 281, 290, nah, nope. Okay. Let's go to close. Let's go to close. 286, 290. So that's on close and 20 and 350. Close and let's go to 19 and 350. Again, I'm going to try some pretty extreme things just to see. 290. Yeah, so we're still not beating 290. Still not beating 290. Yeah, it looks like BBWP, or sorry, PMARP is doing a little bit, but it's only changing it by a couple %. So it might not really be that that useful. I'm kind of running out of ideas here. Doesn't seem like it's as helpful for this chart. Here we go. I found something that is actually making some progress. Okay. So I'm going to start going this direction. Low 14, 100. And this one is the chart that had PMARP settings on 1, 1, and 2, and negative flat. Let's just go to negative real fast. So 294 is what we want to beat in the meantime. Going to change these so that I'm working on the same chart. I forgot what the settings for the PMARP were. 294. Okay, so that's not making really a difference at all. So I'll just leave it on negative. Low 14, 100. I'm going to try high 14, 100. And I'm going to put this on negative as well. Oh. I literally losing my mind. All right. Okay, that's negative. I'm going to put it on negative flat in a minute, but I'm just going to try a couple different settings and see. All right, it doesn't seem like the low changed anything. Oops. Oh, the flat was the one I was doing. Negative 307. Okay, so here we go. So it looks like just being on negative 1 and 2 is actually good when the setting is high 14, 100. To compare apples to apples, let's do high here. And let's do high 14, 100. Okay, so the only difference on this chart is PMARP slope is on 1 and 1 on historical and bars valid. So we're looking at 18. That's kind of what I'm watching right now. So yeah, it's just 1% different. Let's see what it does backtesting on both of these. Okay, so these are the ones we're shooting out together. 307. I don't remember. Let's just go ahead and backtest all of these. Just kind of see where we are at. Okay, so definitely. See, that's why it's great to backtest. Very small difference, but very big difference when you deep backtest. So PMARP being 1 and 2 makes a big difference. All right, 2 bars valid. So now those should be the same. So 345 versus 345. So actually this one, what's the difference here? Is there any difference? Negative 1 and 2. Oh, I think these are the same. High 1400. High 1400. Okay, yeah, so these are the same. Okay, now all my charts, I believe. Yep, all my charts are the same. I'm just gonna try a few other things, and then we'll wrap it up. So 345 is what we're trying to beat, and I'm just gonna work in deep backtesting mode now that I'm getting close to wrapping the strategy up. And again, this strategy is actually moving pretty fast. I do have an idea of what I'm doing here because I've built so many strategies with this indicator. Okay, 347, 345. So what's the difference here? This is 31 drawdown, 13. So, yeah, that's not changing it much. And going to, oh, wait, why is that 15? I meant to go to 12. Weird. High, 1200. Oh, no, I didn't mean to go to 15. Yeah, my brain's going. All right, so 13 is 347. 14 is 345. I'm just going to leave it at 14. I know it's slightly more net profit, but the drawdown's a little bit worse. But I will try to change this number. I'm just going to go to 90 here. 44, 345, 31, 31. Okay, so these are not much different. Maybe I'll just go to 11 just to see. Okay, 90's not better. Let's go to 200. $39, no. Okay, so 14. I'm just spitballing a few last things before we wrap this up. No. The reason I spitball, wait, what is this? 336 now. The reason I spitball is because every once in a while you'll find pockets of combinations of numbers that really work well together. And so sometimes I'll just like really change all of the settings and see if I get something that feels like it could be onto something, and then I'll build off of that for a while. And sometimes it turns out to be nothing. Sometimes it turns into actually a really great idea. Okay, nothing's really standing out here. I'll try a couple of options, I guess, but it looks like the winner so far is this strategy, and it does look pretty great over time. I mean, that is a crazy drop, and the strategy, though, yes, the strategy took some losses, but that's just wild that it withstood all of that. So that's definitely a good sign. The only thing I don't love is the drawdown is pretty high still. There's some pretty big, so I might try some other things another day to maybe stop loss or something else to really try to work on some of these major pull downs, drawbacks. All right, yeah, nothing's beating it, so I'm just gonna go back to the settings at 307. Okay, so those are the same. Yeah, that's not. Though the drawdown does seem to be better here. So you know what? Let me look at that. So actually, that's interesting. The drawdown is a bit better. This chart right here at 11 and 500. So I'm gonna, before I go, I'm gonna try a few more things around that area just because it has a much better drawdown. So this is kind of, right now this chart is my favorite, even though it's, I mean, listen, it's only a few percent different, but the drawdown is definitely better. Okay, that did not make it better. $317. That's not changing much. Okay, 17.83, 70.83. It's very, very different. This is a very, very minimal difference. We're talking about 1%, so it looks like I'm spinning my wheels a little bit. I'm gonna kind of just go with this. All right, so yeah, we're gonna just stick with where we were here, 400. I actually do like 400 a little bit more. 500 is just getting high. Look back is I try to keep it less than 500 if possible. 500 sometimes it goes to 600, but all right, so here we go. So this is kind of where we've ended. I'll probably do a little bit of work another day to just get the drawdown a little bit better, but honestly this chart is looking pretty amazing. I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and yeah, if you don't have the Bumper Bands 30, it's this indicator right here that I've used. I'll explain it in another video actually, but yeah, that's what this strategy is built off of. It's a pretty powerful indicator. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one.